I just tested two AI tools that raised over $200 million. They hit 90 million in sales faster than almost any software company ever did. One of them just made AI helpers that most people don't even know about yet. In this video, I'm going to show you what I found when I built the pretty much similar apps on both tools. I'll show you which one worked best and why picking the wrong one could waste months of your time. I'll even show you the real apps I built so you can see the differences between the two tools. And don't worry if you've never coded before or if you think AI is too hard. I'm going to show you how beginners use these tools to build real apps. You'll see the actual results by the end of this video and you'll know how to do the same thing yourself. Plus, I'm also sharing the one big mistake that could cost you hundreds of dollars when picking between these tools. It's a mistake I almost made that you can easily avoid. Let's start with some crazy growth numbers that will blow your mind. Most software companies take years to make even $1 million. But here's what happened. Lovable went from 0 to 50 million in just 6 months. They now have over 500,000 users building 25,000 apps every single day. Bolt.new is even crazier. They went from 0 to $40 million in just 3 months. And that might make it the fastest growing software company ever. Still, don't believe these numbers are real. Keep watching, it will get better. So here's what's really interesting. Both tools exploded in popularity, but they work in different ways. I tested both to show you exactly what that means. So let's first speak about Lovable, and if I just go to my screen right here, this is what you get when you go to lovable.dev. So you get that screen, you can type in a prompt right here, and you'll be able to start building your own things. Over here, you'll see the stuff that you've built, you'll see stuff that was shared with you, and you'll see templates that you can remix right here. So you just hit the remix button, and you're able to remix that stuff. On the inside, what that looks like is something like this. So you see the chat history right here. You're able to use edit mode as well if you want to make some small modifications without involving the AI agent. And there's also a chat mode, which will allow you to make edits to your project, or which will allow you to have a chat without making edits to your project. Apart from that, you can publish your projects. You can have a look at the code right here. You can upload to GitHub if you'd like. You can connect to databases like Supabase. So there's a lot that you can do within this one single interface. One thing I'll also mention is that here you have the number of credits that you have used over the month. So in my case, I've used a bit more than half. I also get, or people also get 5 daily credits for free that you can then use. And these are used before the rest of the credits are used. And this is agent mode, which is one thing I want to speak to you about in a second, which is changing the whole landscape of how this AI agent is, or how this agent is working within Lovable. Because nowadays it's no longer about having one chat message equal to one prompt. There's a bit of discrepancy over there, which can be good or bad. In general, I found it to be a very, very good thing. So this is the interface of Lovable. If we were to speak about AI agents, this is the post that Lovable made on June 30th, which is about a week ago. And here they discuss agent mode along with beta. They discuss how to turn it on, as I just showed you right there. They discuss what it means. They discuss the pricing. And that's pretty much it. When it comes to the pricing, the way it works is that it is different and it depends on how intense in operations the thing costs. So if you're changing one very small thing, that might cost point something of a credit, right? And on the normal or on the first paid tier, you get 100 credits per month. If it's something that takes a lot of stuff, such as if you're building something from the very beginning, that could cost a lot of tokens. There were situations where I used up 4, 5, 6 credits in one go. But the great thing about it is that there's no back and forth with Lovable, with the interface. It tends to build what you want and do it immediately. There's no errors that you need to go back and forth to. And if you've used Lovable before, you'll know that that was something that happened. I mean, I wouldn't say very often, but It was something that where you had to try and fix, and then you'd end up wasting time. So there's a lot that can be done with this agent mode that will take care of this for you. So in a nutshell, when you turn this on, the credits used will depend on how intense the operation really is, right? Requests can cost less than 1 credit, or they can cost several credits depending on their complexity. So this is Lovable and their recently introduced agent mode. On the other hand, you have Bolt.new, which once you go to Bolt.new, this is what you see. And you get asked, what do you want to build? Create stunning apps and websites by chatting with AI. You have the option to import from Figma or GitHub, and you have a few templates, I guess, that you could get started with right here. Or, I mean, I guess the prompt sort of is created for you. In terms of seeing your projects, you just need to go to the left right here, and you'll be able to see all your projects right there. If you go to settings under tokens, you'll then see how many tokens you have left. So every month you get 10 million tokens. In my case, I've used whatever that is, 4.8. Or is that 4.8? Yeah, it's 3.8. So I have 6.2 left. And just like that, then I get that refilled at the end of the month in my case. So in 1 week, I've used whatever that is, right? Around 40% of my tokens. So this also allows you to see where you stand in terms of Bolt. When you're inside your profile, this is what you see. So pretty similar to Lovable. You have the chat window here. You can chat with Lovable, or you can deploy stuff. You can go into discussion mode. So here it's called discussion and build mode. Discussion is where you use less credits, but where you can sort of strategize and create a plan, whereas build is for execution. You have other similar things in terms of integration. So you can add Stripe to your projects. You can add Supabase. You can add GitHub. You can export your project, so you can download it or open in StackBlitz, or you can deploy it, which starts a chat message right here where you can deploy that stuff to Netlify. So with Lovable, you get hosting on their own servers. With Bolt, you get hosting on Netlify, which, I mean, if you have your own custom domain, both are easy to connect to those specific platforms. What I like about Bolt in this case is that you are not tied to having a subscription on Bolt. If you decide to stop that, you can still have your site. Whereas with Lovable, you are sort of tied to their own hosting. So if you were to not want to have a Lovable account, you might run into issues, or you will run into issues, since the site is hosted on the Lovable server. So you are sort of tied to Lovable in order to make that work. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to these two platforms. Now, let's speak about the key differences so you can make the right choice. In other words, which one do you think should be used if you want to handle, I don't know, fixing better problems, if you want to make it as easy as possible? And let's speak about the different factors to consider. The first is the user experience, and Lovable is great at auto-fixing problems. Just like, I don't know, you are speaking to someone and you're having a back and forth with agents, that sort of goes out of the window. You just say what you want, and then Lovable just does it. When something breaks, it doesn't just fix that one problem. It actually stops new problems from happening, which is different than what used to happen before. And upon using this and upon seeing what other people are saying, everyone seems to say that they have way fewer frustrating cycles of fixing one thing and then breaking another, which is great. On the other hand, Bolt.new gives you complete project access by mixing browser technology with building steps in a way no one thought possible. Unlike Lovable, which only gives you access through GitHub, Bolt keeps everything in one place. You can see exactly what the AI is thinking and change anything directly, which is great. Let's speak about pricing, because I believe you can get ready to experience all of this for way less than you would happily pay elsewhere. A few months ago, Lovable starts at $25 per month with their new pay-as-you-use pricing. Bolt starts at $20 per month token system with that 10,000 or 10 million tokens per month. So both are super affordable and super accessible to get into. When it comes to integrations, Bolt now offers Figma connection and GitHub sync, and there's also this Supabase connection. What is surprising is that Lovable not only helps with building the app, but also gives you the extra, I would say, project management benefits that most users do not expect. On the other hand, Bolt's connections give builders more flexibility, and in a way, it's more than they first might have thought was possible. So both have their pros and cons, I would say. So in my case, I spent a lot of time testing these tools and following other tests from builders who made apps on both. And here is what I have found. Number one, when it comes to speed, Lovable and Bolt both work quickly. Apps work well, even if as you're using them, clicking from one page to another is generally a very fast thing. Bolt users said they had more first try failures in general that needed fixing. In terms of the code quality, that little improvement in Lovable's new AI helpers feature actually makes the code much cleaner, much easier to maintain with better error handling. So I would definitely suggest you use that mode if you can. When it comes to customizations, I would say Bold.new wins here for now because builders who want to dive into the code and make custom changes generally find Bolt as the tool that gives them specific control that they would need for complex projects. Not to say that Lovable doesn't do that, but I think Bolt just has the edge for now. And in a way, this is the AI building paradox, which is both tools will create amazing opportunities for builders, and making apps should now be as easy as having a conversation with someone. But many users, even experienced builders, are going to pick the road tool for their needs and get frustrated. So here's my advice based on exactly who you are and what you're trying to do. Choose Lovable if you are a startup founder, marketer, a designer, someone who wants to build without coding. You want an MVP fast, and you want AI to handle pretty much everything. You are someone who likes simplicity and who doesn't want to deal with technical details. Or you want the most advanced AI helper that is available right now. On the other hand, I would say choose Bolt if you're a builder who wants AI to speed up your work, but you still want control. Or if you're building complex apps that need custom backend logic. Or if you want lower costs and don't mind a more technical interface. Or even if you want to learn code based on what the AI does. Those are the reasons why I would go with Bolt. But listen, at the end of the day, both of these tools can deliver what you want, just in their own different ways. Now, at the beginning, I mentioned that most people will make one specific mistake, and that is that they will choose the tool based on pricing. Maybe they try to save a few bucks here and there, but I think that is a mistake because with such easy access to both tools, knowing the features that you're after and the features that will help you go to production the quickest is what you need to be focusing on. Just because Bolt is cheaper slightly, if you're a non-technical person, I would still pay a bit more and go with Lovable, and also vice versa, right? If you struggle with complexity, go with the tool that makes life easier. And with these AI or with these agent modes in Lovable, that is now super easy to do. Think of your skill levels and goals first is another way of looking at all this. Look, as of right now, and as you're watching this today, you are still ahead of the biggest app building opportunity in history. Both of these tools represent the future of software building, and I think we're literally watching the birth of a new era where ideas can become apps in minutes, not months. Lovable's new AI helpers are, in a way, like Edison's light bulb for building. They're not just making the process better, they're completely changing it. Meanwhile, Bolt is proving that browser-based building can compete with traditional tools, and maybe is bigger than all the previous building methods combined. And I think the question isn't really which one is better, it's which one fits your work style and your goals. And think about this, just 90 days from today, you could have a fully working app built with either tool. An app that people are using that is making you money. So I would just say pick one platform based on what I just said, dive in, and see which one works best. And if you're still undecided, You could even try them both as a quick MVP and see which one you feel most at home using. That is my advice to you. I would encourage you to check out these tools, start building with them today. And in the meantime, check out the link in the description if you want to see how I can help you with your AI and automation business. Hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. And I'll see you in the next one.